Hey there, fellow loom knitters. Need a break? Well, grab your yarn and a beverage of choice, or you can just sit back and relax. Give me a few minutes, and together we're going to take a break from life while we listen to a few words of encouragement. Today's theme is failure. Failure. Now, before you tense up, I know failure doesn't sound like it's encouraging, but failure is not the enemy, nor is it something to be ashamed of or hide from. Failure is a teacher. In fact, it's one of the best teachers that we could ever have. Failure is something that life sends to everyone that is serious about growth. And if you're willing to listen, it's one of the best guides that we'll ever have on this journey to level up. And if you've ever dropped a stitch, you already know what I'm talking about. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. So let's begin. Deep breath in. When we drop a stitch, we have a choice. We can unravel our project in frustration, or we can pick it back up and pause. We figure out the issue, and in that moment, we become better knitters. In life, that's what failure does for us. Here's the truth. Failure is not defeat. Failure is tuition, the price we pay to learn lessons. You cannot learn courage without facing fear. You cannot build patience without being tested. Every mistake, every setback, every no you've heard in your life, it's information, it's feedback, a clue that helps you adjust, refine, and grow stronger for what comes next. Failures are stepping stones, not tombstones. They are part of the path, not the end of it. Stepping stones, each one lifting you a little closer to your potential. They're the fire that tempers steel, the storm that strengthens roots, the weight that builds strength. Failure isn't a signal that you're broken, weak, or unworthy. It's proof that you're in motion, proof that you're trying, that you're daring to take the next step forward. If you've never failed at anything, it means you've never pushed yourself far enough to grow, to level up. Think about it. Toddlers fall 100 times before they learn to walk. We don't call that failure. We call that progress. And sometimes, in our creative world, what feels like a mistake turns out to be a new pattern, what I like to refer to as a new discovery. Failure works the same way. What looks like the end is often the start of something brand new. What feels like a detour might actually be a breakthrough in disguise. And just like casting on more difficult projects builds new skills, every challenge you take on develops the endurance you'll need for the next step of your journey. Here's the real danger. Not failure itself, but the fear of failure. The fear of failing is worse than failing. Why? Because fear paralyzes us before we even take this first step. Fear shrinks our world. It steals opportunities before we even try. Some of the deepest regrets in life don't come from failure. They come from never trying. Failure will bruise your ego, sure, but fear Fear robs you of the chance to even take that first step. And here's something worth remembering. Failure is temporary. Regret? Well, that lasts forever. So how do we move forward? We start by seeing failure for what it really is. Feedback, information. It shows us what doesn't work so we can move closer to what does. It's your personal coach saying, that way didn't work. Let's try a different angle. It forces us to shift, to innovate, to see possibilities we never would have noticed if everything had gone smoothly. The only true failure is giving up. It's a clue, a breadcrumb along the trail, a step closer to what's waiting for you. As long as you rise again, you are still on the path. Just like the song says, your backup plan is to get back up. Every successful person you admire, every leader, every artist, every athlete, has a winding trail of failures behind them. They chose to keep going. That trail isn't something to hide. It's the foundation success is built on. And just like in knitting, sometimes I need to frog rows, rip them out. That doesn't erase the work I've done. It refines it. It gives me the clarity to do it better. It sharpens my skills, strengthens my patience, and often makes the end result better. Failure does the same thing. It doesn't erase your effort. It refines your direction. It's training. Every fall teaches you how to stand a little steadier, walk a little stronger, climb a little higher, knit a little better. That's what failure does for us all. So the next time you stumble, don't despair. The next time you fall short, don't quit. Pause, learn, rise again. Failure is not punishment, it's preparation. Failure is not a dead end, it's the pathway to mastery. Failure is not your enemy, it is your ally. Some of the deepest regrets people carry aren't from failing, but from never even trying. So let yourself fail, because in failing, you are learning, and in learning, you are growing. And here's something else. Failure also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we're human and that we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond. And that response is what defines us far more than the failure itself. If you want to grow, if you want to rise, if you want to leave your mark on this world, you must embrace failure. You must look it square in the face and say, I will learn, I will improve, and I will move forward. Because failure is not the end of the road. It's part of the journey. It's the stepping stone to everything you're reaching for. The next time you drop a stitch in knitting or in life, don't throw the whole thing away. Pick it back up, keep going, and remember, failure is not the enemy. It's the ladder that lifts you towards success. So today, I want to leave you with this. Failure doesn't disqualify you. It proves you're in the arena. It proves you're stretching, learning, growing, leveling up. Don't fear it. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Because failure is not where the story ends. It's where the real story begins. When you stumble, don't despair. When you fall, don't quit. Pause, learn, and rise again. Failure is not punishment. It's preparation. It's not a dead end. It's the pathway to mastery. So maybe today, let's give ourselves permission to fail and see it not as the end, but as a stepping stone forward. Every drop stitch can be picked back up. Every mistake can become part of the pattern, or a design feature, or even a new discovery. Deep breath in, roll those shoulders and wiggle those fingers. And remember, failure isn't the end, it's a stepping stone. Thanks for sharing this moment with me today. Today's theme was failure. And if you feel that anyone else needs a pick-me-up, please share this video with them as well. I'd love to hear from you. What's one failure that taught you a lesson and made you stronger? Leave a message in the comments below. You never know who you're going to inspire. So until next time, I'm Stacey from Stitches by Stacey. Have a great day. And remember, how do you knit a blanket? One stitch at a time. And if your break's not over yet, watch this video next.